Good afternoon, tribe. Today we'll be reading the definitive book of human design, The Science of Differentiation. This book is written by Lynda Bunnell, director of the International Human Design School, and it was authorized by and in cooperation with Ra Uru Hu, who is the founder of the Human Design System. Thank you for joining us. I'm looking forward to reading this. It's a pretty interesting and informative topic, and I want to make this video. I want us to start out our book club with this book because I think it's important for us to learn about this system. I think it's very important, particularly if you're into astrology, because once I ran across human design, it was like astrology times 1,000. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, let's get started. A message from Ra Uru Hu for the readers of this book. To those who would live life as themselves, human design offers a mechanical understanding of the nature of being. With understanding comes a genuine revolution, the realignment of a life and the awakening of awareness. Human design offers a methodology uniquely tailored to your design that liberates you from not self conditioning. It is called strategy and authority, and it is the catalyst of transformation. Most important to recognize is that this is knowledge to be experimented with. There is a way, but it can only be your way. Allow this work to guide and inform you, and then, if it's correct for you, enter into the most extraordinary journey of your life. Ra Uru Hu, Ibiza, Spain, March 1st, 2011. All right, this was in 2011, copywritten, just so we know. We like to keep track of dates around here. Dedication. This book is dedicated to Ra Uru Hu, the founder and messenger of the Human Design System, to our grandchildren, and to all future generations. Ra Uru Hu, Human Design founder, messenger, and teacher of the Human Design System. Ra Uru Hu, born Robert Allen Krakauer, was the fourth child of a cultured, upper middle class family from Montreal, Canada. He was surrounded by the arts and learned to express himself through music as a composer and performer, an avocation he pursued until his death. He completed a Bachelor of Arts degree at Sir George Williams University, but his career path led him into the business world as an advertising executive and a magazine publisher and a media producer. One morning in 18, I'm sorry, One morning in 1983, he simply walked away from his family and fast-paced life as an entrepreneur, from life as he knew it, and disappeared. Several months later, he found himself on the beautiful and temperate island of Ibiza in the Mediterranean Sea, off the eastern coast of Spain. This Eden, as he liked to call it, is where his real life as Ra Uru Hu had its beginnings. On the evening of January 3rd, 1987, he encountered the voice. It was a terrifying experience. The voice said, "Are you ready to work?" And for 8 days and 8 nights, he worked, transcribing in detail what is now known as the Human Design System. Ron speaks of the encounter as a wake-up call, an education which showed him how blind and ignorant his assumptions were about the nature of being, the cosmos, and the way things work. Ra considered himself the messenger of the Human Design System, now his legacy, and dedicated his life since the encounter to disseminating the science of differentiation around the world. He lived and worked in Ibiza, where he enjoyed teaching, playing music, gardening, and spending time with his wife, 3 children, and his grandson. As Ra has said many times, don't believe a thing I tell you, try it for yourself. There are now thousands of people across the world who have worked with the human design system and found that it does indeed accurately reveal the mechanics of the way life works. Ra passed away in his home on March 12, 2011 at 5:40 a.m., less than a month from his 63rd birthday. So we have the story, right? The story of the voice. Um, there's a lot of talk about it, you know. There's all kinds of theories and thoughts. People have all kind of things to say about that, including myself. Um, I think I'm gonna skip it for now. I'm not gonna talk about it because we're just gonna appreciate the fact that it's here. So we'll just go ahead and stay neutral and just hear all the information before we start dissecting things in that way. So I'm not gonna do that. But you can meet us in the chat room and we can talk all about it there. So moving on, it says Lynda Bunnell, human design teacher and director of the International Human Design School. Lynda Bunnell is the director of the International Human Design School, working closely with Ra Uru Hu since 1999. She was one of the first to begin teaching and training human design analysts and teachers worldwide, including the first class of analysts under the new educational program restructured by Ra in 2003. In 2005, she and Ra were among the first to teach human design online, creating a virtual space where students from all over the world could meet and study together. In 2006, at his request, she reintroduced the Living Your Design Guide training program, and Lynda has pioneered many of the training methods and modalities used in the online training programs today, and is the author of the student and teacher editions of the Living Your Design books. Ra asked her to become the dean of the International Human Design School in 2006, and in June of 2010 turned the school over to her completely, entrusting her with his educational programs as well as maintaining the global standards for education within the human design system. Lynda is a fervent pioneer in moving human design out into the world and works full time to support and expand the community of students and professionals throughout the world, dedicating herself to preserving the human design system as taught by Ra. For the 12 years that I worked with Ra, I had the profound good fortune to be, in effect, his private student as we corresponded almost daily about the details of the human design system, knowledge, and his vision for it. He taught me how important it is to maintain the authenticity of knowledge he was given, and he confided to me his dreams, wishes, and overall vision for the human design system. In the process, he transformed my life and the way I view the world around me, and he instilled in me the tools that I need to continue to bring this knowledge to all who can use it, and for this I am eternally grateful. Lynda's background includes 30 plus years as a successful businesswoman and a passion for spiritual and metaphysical studies. She was raised and still resides in Southern California and is the mother of 2 and grandmother of 4. All right, that's what's up. We got to respect it. We just appreciate when important information is brought out. So we do appreciate knowing important information and don't have a problem acknowledging the people that had a hand in it. The impact of the human design system around the world. It is with great pleasure that I can finally say, here it is. This book is for all those who seek a comprehensive and authoritative description of the human design system and its formula. This volume sets out the step-by-step progression of the work from foundation knowledge to the finest nuance of who we are and how we may encounter our lives as ourselves. To my knowledge, it is the only published work that has enjoyed the active collaboration of the founder and first student of the system, Ra Uru Hu. I cannot recommend it more highly. From J.R. Richmond in Sedona, Arizona. Chairman and current registrar of the IHDS. We have plenty of other quotes here, um, and they all sound great. So, oh, yeah, if you join us in the chat room, if you just reach out to me, you can inbox me. You can, on the Cedar Grove Herbs website, you can contact us. So that'll go straight to my email. You can comment here on the video. If you want a copy of this book, let me know. If you want to read along with us, you want to be part of this openly occultic book club, and like I said, journey with us as we grow in knowledge, shoot me an email and I will send you a copy of this book. All right. So you can read the rest of these reviews yourself. It's all wonderful. Sounds great. The impact of the human design system around the world. So you got more quotes on that, and we'll keep it going. We'll just scroll through these table of contents. Um, the foundations of a revolutionary new perspective, right? The human design system, the rave mandala. That's the circle type drawing you saw on the cover of the book, the circle part of it. The human design body graph, right, because the circle is around the body graph itself. So, chapter or section 2 is going to go over the 9 centers. These are centers as part of your body graph. As we can see scrolling through here, we're talking about the flow of energy. That's right. The throat center, head center, root center sounds a lot like chakras. We see it. The splenic, the solar, the heart, to sacral. Okay, and we have the G center here. Section 3 is going to discuss the authority. So we'll get to that when we get to that. Section 4 is going to go over the 4 types and strategies. So you have the manifestor, the generator, the projector, and the reflector. Section 5, the 5 definitions, speaking more on energy and the dynamics. So it's going to go through the different definitions: single, simple split, wide split, triple split, and quadruple split. Okay. Well, I know we're going to read it to learn it, but as we're getting to it, we're just seeing words and things we probably hadn't seen before, but we definitely have heard about chakras, so we know that this has something to do with that. We'll get to understanding all these things as we read. Stick with us because, like I said, I think this is important. The 6th section is on circuits, channels, and gates. Circuits, speaking of energy, channels, and gates, right? So it's going to go through all of that. The integration channel, the individual circuit group, the collective circuit group, the tribal circuit group. Okay. All right. Section 7 is going to go over the 12 profiles. There are 12 profiles in human design. And before it gets to all the different profiles, it's going to discuss the upper and lower trigram. So don't get frustrated or lose patience if we're going over things. We most certainly are. We're going over a lot of things that are like new words in so many ways. Don't get frustrated. Don't lose your patience. It's part of the learning process. I know you know that, tribe. Section 8, the Global Incarnation Cross Index. Global Incarnation Cross. Section 9, sample chart overviews, right? Going to go over a manifestor's chart, a generator's chart, a manifesting generator's chart, a projector's chart, and a reflector's chart. Okay? Section 10 is going to go over the hexagram line descriptions. So we'll get a deeper understanding on that, and we'll go through the little hexagram lines 1 through 64. And section 11 is going to go through other resources. Great. This is wonderful. Let's get into it. Forward. As this book was nearing completion, Ra Uru Hu wrote the following foreword for its readers. With the human design system's rising popularity, there are unauthorized books emerging. There are very few students of mine that I have encouraged and authorized to write books on the knowledge. It's a pleasure for me to have a work of this quality and depth made available to the public and written by one of the leading educators in human design. I have watched Lynda's process for many years as a student, analyst, teacher, and ultimately director of the International Human Design School. She has made and continues to make a major contribution to the continued integrity of the knowledge and its growth in the world. He wrote that from Spain, February 8th, 2011. Interesting. February 8th was my mom's birthday. Cool. She was born in 51, though. 1951, not 2011. Okay, preface by Lynda Bunnell. Imagine for a moment how different your life might have been for you and your parents if a user's guide had accompanied your birth. Imagine what it would have been like as a child to have been encouraged to connect with the part deep inside you that always knew what was correct or not correct for you. A place you could have trusted to say yes or no to whatever you met in life. Imagine for a moment how wonderful it would have been to know how incredibly unique you were born to be, how unlike any other person alive, and to celebrate that uniqueness by loving yourself without comparison. And imagine how wonderful it would be today to have your uniqueness celebrated and encouraged by your family and friends. This is the possibility that the human design system holds for you and future generations. Though human design wasn't here when most of us were born, it can touch and transform a life at any age. My own personal experience with this remarkable system began when I was in my early 40s. As a successful and well established businesswoman in Southern California in the 1990s, I thought I had achieved everything anyone needed to be happy. Yet I knew I wasn't happy. There was a disconnect between what my mind thought and my own inner truth. No amount of exploration through other systems of self discovery have succeeded in making that connection of filling the void I sensed within. A new chapter of my journey began in 1998 while vacationing in southern Spain. My traveling companion, a spiritual seeker like myself, had brought some cassette tapes with her, describing a whole new system for personal transformation. We listened as we roamed the hillsides in our car. Little did I suspect that this man's amazing encounter while on a tiny island in the Mediterranean, only a few miles away from us at that time, would turn my life upside down and inside out. The man's name was Ra Uru Hu, and the system was human design. It took a bit of convincing by my friend, but once I received a human design reading, I was hooked. I discovered that human design was what I had been seeking. I left my career behind without a backwards glance and immersed myself in reading and listening to everything I could find about the knowledge. I participated in private readings and took extensive classes with Ra in Europe and America for days and weeks at a time. It was an incredible, life reorienting experience of step by step, decision by decision, dismantling my firmly held misconceptions about myself and life. As I surrendered to my inner wisdom, life took me in an unexpected direction to satisfying destinations that I could have not dreamed of for myself. There were moments of deep and difficult inner transformations as well. Human design had not only shown me why my early successes in life had left me feeling empty, it set me on a unique path that brought me to this moment, fulfilled, challenged, and satisfied by my work, part of which is writing this book. This science is precious to humankind. I've watched human design grow over the years, and I am still as passionate about it as I was when I first encountered this amazing body of knowledge. As it has grown in popularity and as materials began to be published by others around the world, Ra asked me to compile a definitive and comprehensive book in collaboration with him that would represent and accurately record the knowledge. As we were getting ready to go to press with this book, Ra died suddenly at his home in Ibiza, Spain. He has been my teacher, mentor, and friend since 1999, and I will forever miss his larger-than-life presence. He lived what he taught and used his own life experiences to validate the knowledge. Little did I know, while working towards this book release, that the meaning of it for me would expand into a tribute honoring this man and his contribution to humanity. Over the years, human design has proven itself to me and never let me down. It is incredibly accurate and deeply transformative. There are now thousands who have found their own truth by stepping into the path of awakening through human design. Once you too begin to grasp your uniqueness and to understand that you were not meant to be like anyone else, you will experience the exhilarating freedom of living the person you were born to be. It is never too late for you to start living into the fullest expression of yourself. Welcome to the journey. Lynda Bunnell, Director of the International Human Design School, Carlsbad, California, 2011. And here she shows Ra's chart, and here she also shows her chart. Ra was a 5-1 manifestor. Lynda Bunnell is a 4-1 manifesting generator. Interesting. Love it. We'll get into what this 5-1 and 4-1 means. We'll get into what this manifestor and manifesting generator means. But peep gang, look at what we're looking at. It's full of symbols and image. This is an image that you're slightly familiar with. You got a natal chart, right? I need everybody to have their natal chart at least, right? I mean, come on. That's where we're at. This is the age of Aquarius, okay? Um, so we have a natal chart. We know what it is to have your astrology symbols, but this says personality. This side says design. We see astrological symbols, and then in here we see the 9 centers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 centers, yes. We see a lot of lines and colors. We see numbers. Some of them are highlighted, some are not. Okay. We're just we're just looking at it. We're just looking like, wow, I've never seen this before. But it looks interesting. Hmm. All right. So we get some acknowledgments here. Excellent. Remember, you can get your own copy if you want to read. I'm not going to skip too much. I don't think I'm going to skip anything in this book. I just want to skip all that, you know. But you can get your own copy. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment, and you can get you a free book. You can get you a free PDF of this book from me. The human design system is not a belief system. It does not require that you believe in anything. It is neither stories nor philosophy. It is a concrete map to the nature of being, a mapping of your genetic code. This ability to be able to detail the mechanics of our nature in such depth is obviously profound because it reveals our complete nature in all its subtleties. Human design opens the door to the potential of self love, a love of life, and the love of others through understanding. And who can be mad at that? Okay. We're waking up or becoming more conscious. Our vibrations are rising. We're raising our vibrations intentionally. We're doing shadow work. We're journaling. Some of us are doing rituals with the moon, the new moon, the new moon, the full moon. You know, we're doing a lot of different things that have to do with learning to love ourselves. We're learning to love ourselves. So, yeah, self-love. Absolutely. And not only that, a love of life and the love of others through understanding. That's what we understood when we started learning about astrology in general. We were like, hey, I can start to understand people better, not just myself. I have my natal chart. I definitely am seeing myself better. I'm looking into numerology. I see my life number. I'm understanding myself better and learning to love myself better um, through what could be perceived as flaws and all, But not only that, now I can see other people better. I kind of see what kind of quote unquote energy they're working with, right? This one over here is an Aquarius. This one over here is a Sagittarius. Here comes a Pisces. There goes a Leo. I kind of know the general energy, you know what I mean? And then we're realizing it's different when it's the moon sign or, this, that, and the third. So, but we know our top three, right? We know our sun sign, our moon sign, our rising sign. We see ourselves, we're loving ourselves, and then we see other people and we're learning to love them better by understanding them better, you know? So this is what's up because energy work is what I'm all about, what we are all about, learning energy because you can't expect a Gemini to be a Capricorn, right? That's like almost total opposites, right? A Gemini is like in summertime, right? And then the Capricorn, it's like the dead of winter. So it's night and day, really. You can't expect or try to force a Gemini to be a Capricorn. You can't force a Capricorn to be a Gemini. You'll be kicking against the bricks. You're punching at a brick wall trying to change something that can't be changed. So I love knowing about energy. I hope you love learning about energy. I hope we all understand that learning about it means that now we kind of know the boundaries, but at the same time, knowing the boundaries, knowing the rules, you can't really break rules or break boundaries unless you know what the rules are, unless you know what the boundaries are. But anyway, we're not talking about breaking universal laws. So let me move on. Hey, don't quote me. Don't be mad at me. Let it go. I was just saying. But okay, here goes. Introduction, the human design system. Here's your mandala. Here's your body graph. That's what we're talking about. Here's astrology. Mm-hmm. The Rave Mandala. Trademarked. By coming to meet this body of knowledge, you're embarking on an adventure, a journey of discovery towards fully embodying what it means to be you. Introduction, the life transforming experiment of living as yourself and claiming your uniqueness. The human design system is the science of differentiation. It shows each of us that we have a unique design and a specific purpose to fulfill while on Earth. Endless possibilities for individual uniqueness lie within our genetic matrix. There are millions of variations of human beings, yet each of us has a specific and unique human design configuration with a clear strategy that effortlessly aligns us to our uniqueness. Human design does not ask you to believe anything. It invites you to participate in a potentially life transforming living experiment and provides you with the practical tools and information needed to live life as yourself. Without this individualized and individualizing living experiment, human design is just a complex system of fascinating information to entertain the mind. In looking at thousands of charts, one thing stands out. No two are exactly alike. Even if someone had a chart very much like yours, they would not be you. But how do we determine our unique design? A human design a human design chart or body graph is a precise map and user guide that gives you access to how we are genetically designed to engage with the world and how our unique inner guidance system operates. Never before have we been able to see all of the parts of ourselves so clearly, the conscious and unconscious parts of ourselves, the aspects of us that no one can take away from us, as well as the aspects that we have been taught or conditioned to believe are us, but are not. As Ra Uru Hu has often said, what you can rely on, you've never relied on in your life. What you can't trust, you've been trying to trust all your life. What you've been trusting has never been you. What you've been ignoring has always been you. Try to trust what's really you and see what happens. Each of us is meant to be different from everyone else. Now we can see and get in touch with those differences. We're here to live our lives and express our truths in our own unique ways. Understanding this can lift a great weight from our shoulders. How often have we compared ourselves to someone else? How often, as children, were we compared to someone else by a parent or teacher or a peer? Comparing ourselves to others creates an impression deep inside of us that is not okay to be who we are. When we add that to the conditioning of our early years, we find ourselves trying to change or adapt how we act to suit others, which further distances us from the person we were born to be. When we begin to understand and accept our own uniqueness, something inside of us opens up and relaxes. The layers and layers of conditioning slowly fall away, and the person we were meant to be, our inner essence, begins to emerge. That's beautiful. Yep. I mean, it says when we begin to understand and accept our own uniqueness, something inside of us opens up and relaxes. The first step for me was astrology. Well, not the very first step, but astrology definitely had a lot to do with that in general. Learning the energy that I was getting from these different planets or portals, however you describe them, knowing that that's the energy that I was working with, hey, I learned to relax. I'm not so mad at my bad side or my dark side. I'm not so bad at I'm not so mad at myself. This is who I am. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's great. You open up, you relax a little bit better. You're okay. You kind of you're like, you know what? I'm all right. You'll be all right. So let's go on. The first step is obtaining your human design chart. You will want to have the charts of your family and friends in front of you as you continue through this book. You can obtain free charts in English at any of these authorized human design organizations. And here's your websites, or you just type in on Google or DuckDuckGo, type in free human design chart. I used to have them on the Cedar Grove Herbs website. Well, I had a blog, but I actually last year I reorganized, I redid my website. And so now I have a news article section on the front page of cedargroveherbs.com. Therefore, I don't need a separate blog. And I just don't have the free human design charts anymore on the Cedar Grove Herbs website. But I'll look into getting that for us. In the meantime, feel free to Google human design chart free or free human design chart and get your free, and it's just like a natal chart. You put in your date of birth, location of birth, and time of birth. So you should be familiar with that. It says what your chart reveals. Your chart shows your specific genetic design, affirming who you really are, how to be yourself, and how to navigate successfully through a constantly changing world. It provides you with the tools you need to live an aware and awake life. A simple strategy you can trust that reliably connects you to your personal authority in order to make moment to moment decisions that are correct for you so that your unique life purpose can unfold naturally. Your strategy will help you eliminate resistance, such as frustration, anger, disappointment, bitterness, and fear in order to live in a relaxed, unique, creative, and evolutionary or revolutionary way. Your chart maps out your relationship dynamics to help you understand how the attractions, resonances, and conflicts between you and others play out. It gives you guidance on how to align yourself with people who enhance your vitality, support your life purpose, and share your true path. Understanding the charts of others illustrates the truly unique and individual natures of those close to you, like family and friends, and how best to respect and interact with them. Okay? Most importantly, a chart shows us how to create the best environment for children so that they are empowered to be their unique selves and to learn and develop as individuated human beings. These are all things that I think we could use. This is great. What about the children? You know what I'm saying? We're waking up. A lot of us are, in our 20s, our 30s, our 40s, right? 50s and 60s. Is so many ways. Sometimes we'd be like, man, it's so many things that I didn't know. And it's kind of like so many lies and things going on. And it's like, man, there's so much trauma that I have been subject to. I don't know how to live life without it. It's like baby steps. I got to take my time. But these kids, we don't have to inflict all that on them. It's the age of Aquarius. We're waking up. So we're learning how to operate more consciously. And a major part of that is for the kids. We want these children to feel loved. We want them to love themselves from a younger age than we did. We want them to be able to understand these things from a younger age than we did, right? So, this is great. I love it. I'm not mad about it at all. Who you are. The 4 human design types. Your chart gives you your type, strategy, and authority, which is body centered intelligence, tools to show you the way that you are designed to navigate through life and interact with the world. While there are millions of variations of designs, there are just 4 types of human beings. Each of us is one of these types, and your type stays the same throughout your entire life. Here's a very brief explanation of the 4 types. These types are going to be covered in depth later on in section 4. You have the generators, the builders. Generators represent about 70% of the population. Their strategy is to engage with life by waiting for things to come to them so that they can respond. When they initiate rather than wait to respond, they usually end up feeling frustrated. Generators are the life force of the planet and are designed to know themselves by observing what they respond to. Through responding, they experience satisfaction in their life and work. Their work is their gift to the world. Projectors. I pause because I'm a generator. I'm a generator, and I just want to throw that out there. But okay. Next, projectors, aka the guides. Projectors are approximately 20% of the population. Their strategy for engaging with life is to wait for their specific qualities to be recognized and invited into things. It is through an invitation that they experience recognition and success in their lives. If they initiate rather than wait, they experience resistance and rejection and can end up becoming bitter. The projector's gift to the world is to understand and be a guide for others. Manifestors, the initiators. Manifestors compose about 9% of the population. Their strategy is to inform others of their decisions before they take action in order to eliminate resistance. Resistance has been brought up in each one because, yeah, you see it. Um, you're going to experience resistance when you're dealing with things that are not for you, right? Okay. Their strategy is to inform others of their decisions before they take action in order to eliminate resistance. When manifestors can't manifest in peace, they experience anger. Manifestors are designed to have a powerful impact and be initiating mechanisms for the other types. Initiating is their gift to the world. And next we have reflectors, the discerners. Reflectors represent approximately 1% of the population. Their strategy is to wait through a full cycle of the moon before making major decisions. Reflectors delight in life's surprises. When they initiate and don't use their strategy, they end up disappointed with life. Reflectors are designed to be the judges of humanity, to reflect back the injustices humanity inflicts on itself. Their ability to clearly discern the this and that of the world is their gift. Interesting. The experiment of living your strategy and authority. The heart and soul of the human design system lies in the potential awakening that is available to you through the actual living of your unique design. Strategy and authority, which will be explained in detail later in this book, are the doorways to living as yourself, affirming who you really are, and understanding and letting go of what you're not. In the past, we navigated life with our minds as the ultimate decision maker. Our minds are not equipped to do this for us any longer. The mind's real genius is for collecting information and experiences, measuring this against that, and contemplating unique perceptions and reflections that can be shared with others. It can only do this, however, when it's not making decisions for us. The mind is now at best, the mind is now at its best as a passenger, here to watch the movie and to view the scenes of life as an involved observer. What actually moves us through life on our unique path is the superior consciousness or intelligence of our body, the form we inhabit. The human design system is the revelation of how our form works and how it becomes the guiding source of our personal authority. We are each designed with a unique way to make decisions with our body consciousness, and every decision is critical as each one moves us along life on a particular trajectory. One wrong decision can set our life on a course that can have serious consequences. Mental decision making is rarely more than a 50-50 guess, and the mind is not a trustworthy personal guidance system. To survive on this planet, we each need to know how to access our own authority. It is the decisions that come from deep within that either put us back on or keep us on the correct path for our life, empowering us to live life authentically from our personal truth. The human design system for tool systems tool, excuse me, the human design systems tools for awakening are like no other. Once you're familiar with your unique design and learn how to use your strategy and authority effectively, you can immediately begin to experiment with and discover for yourself how they transform your life. By living as you are designed to live as yourself, your mind starts to play a much deeper and more appropriate role as an objective observer and resource, freeing you to experience what it is to be an awake and aware passenger. Your mind participates in the process of self discovery, but does not interfere with your day to day decisions. Human design gives you the tools and points the way, but it's up to you to use them. If you live by your personal strategy and authority, there's nothing to do. The doing happens, and you are not interfering. So, the authentic self. Throughout the book, we will compare the authentic or true self to the not self. When we talk about the authentic self or true self, we mean our pure and natural behavioral nature, designed to emerge without resistance into the world. Another term used for this is our purpose our reason for being here, being the person we were born to be. The not self is conditioned programming, masking our authentic self. As we become aware of our not self through our strategy and authority, we slowly become aware of our authentic self, always present but concealed just behind it. Self hatred also has its source in the not self. We simply hate our failure to fulfill the layers and layers of expectations that we have taken on or placed on ourselves. When we know and accept and live from a comfortable place of authenticity, we will naturally come to love ourselves. As you journey further into your personal experiment to know yourself, you will witness every possible variation of your not self conditioning and the resistance it creates. The more clearly you see that, the more clearly you'll see that you'll see your true self. Knowing yourself is the path to loving yourself. The human design system shows you how. Human design focuses on the health, stability, and direction of our life contained within our bodies. Once the form or body is functioning optimally, the light of our psyche or personality or soul shines through all we think and say and do with an empowering clarity and gentle ease. This is authenticity, living as we were designed to live. The deconditioning process. Deconditioning, as it is called in the human design system, is a process of letting go of what we are not. It is a slow process because it is a deep process. When we reclaim our authority, changing how we make decisions and navigate through life, we actually change the way our cells function within our body. Life moves in 7-year cycles, as it takes approximately 7 years for all the cells in our body to be renewed. The moment we begin to align with our true nature, the moment we allow our body to live its life without resistance, we begin this deep process of deconditioning. 7 years later, we emerge closer to the person that we were born to be. It's not easy to start as an adult, but as we have heard over and over, it's never too late to begin. And it may or may not take 7 years. But certainly, once you get into the practice of something, it becomes second nature. But yes, it will definitely that would mean that it kind of is in your cells. It's kind of rewriting your DNA. Hmm. So all that trauma rewrote your DNA. Your DNA's already been rewritten from all that trauma that you've experienced living this life through the 80s and 90s, through the 60s and 70s, whether you're an American or not, I guess. You've got a lot of trauma, got a lot of societal expectations, family expectations you put on yourself, things you haven't been able to do, or things you felt like you should have done. You got all this trauma. It's damaged you down to your DNA. And once you start healing, your DNA changes back to being healed and you start to be back to who you were always supposed to be. Let's go. As far back as ancient China, thinkers and philosophers espoused the idea of not doing as a way of doing. There's a pleasant ease that comes from living your life surrounded or surrendered to your inner guidance system. Being awake and aware of yourself, living authentically and in harmony with your design, is so much more interesting than living asleep and lost in the expectations of the conditioning of the homogenized world. Mhm. Learning to make decisions from deep within yourself so that you and others can fully benefit from you being you rather than a carbon copy of someone else is worth the effort, the time, and the patience that it takes to get there. Let's say that again. Learning to make decisions from deep within yourself so that you and others can fully benefit from you being you rather than a carbon copy of someone else is worth the effort, the time, and the patience that it takes to get there. To know yourself is to love yourself. Deconditioning will be discussed throughout this book. Signposts of resistance. Once we begin living our life authentically through our type, strategy, and authority, we can begin to pay attention to whether we experience ease or resistance along the way. When we have acted from decisions made by our thinking minds rather than our strategy and authority, we experience resistance. Continually making decisions from our mind means we are living a life that isn't ours, and the accumulated stress from such actions jeopardizes our physical, mental, and emotional well being. The not self themes of anger, such as the manifestor experiences, or frustration, such as the generator experiences, bitterness, which is what the projector experiences, and disappointment, which the reflector experiences, are signposts of resistance that alert us that we have veered off course by failing to follow our strategy and ignoring our authority. In other words, it is our not self actions and decisions that are resisted, not our authentic selves. If taken personally, we experience resistance as rejection or suppression of our true self by others. On the other hand, when we become conscious and aware of what resistance is telling us through these signposts, it affords us an opportunity to take a step back and reassess our approach or actions or words. When we become ill or diseased or accident prone, we know that continued outside resistance has manifested on the inside. As our authenticity is lived out, our purpose in life is freed to accomplish its essential mission and brings us our full true self measure of satisfaction, success, peace, or surprise. This topic is explored more thoroughly in Section 4. The bottom line, awakening. Human design is a new kind of awakening. It is a process of coming to awareness that aligns our mind and body with their appropriate roles. It requires making an ally of the mind through understanding the mechanics of our design, while simultaneously living our lives according to our strategy and authority. Once we understand the nature of the true self and the not self, and are making life decisions from our personal authority, we can release our attachment to the mind and its control over our lives, and free its incredible gifts to be of service to others. In doing so, we become aware and awake passengers, and our minds become objective observers of our life. Each individual's singular path to awakening begins with growing awareness of our sophisticated body's heightened intelligence and a deep trust in this intelligence to be our compass through life. We cannot, dare not release our mind's hold until we know we can trust ourselves implicitly. By fully trusting our own ability to navigate life, we become more accepting of ourselves and able to genuinely love ourselves and others. This, in human design, is the point of personal transformation, seeing through the illusion and moving through life awake and aware. How to use this book. Even though the human design system is a deep and complex body of knowledge, it is accessible for everyone. This book is designed to take you through this knowledge step by step, one layer building on the next, and each of these sections is presented in a specific order, introducing and explaining terms that you'll need as we progress. Initially, it will be helpful for you to proceed section by section. Once you have become familiar with the various levels of information and how they interrelate, you can then use this book as a reference guide. The Foundations of a Revolutionary New Perspective, Human Design from the Beginning. An overview and introduction to the basic concepts and origins of the human design system. This will lay the groundwork for your personal experiment into the foundation of you. Section 2, the 9 centers, the flow of energy. Understanding the centers is bedrock human design information. In order to unlock your type, strategy, authority, and ultimately your true self, you must understand how the centers operate. Section 3, authority, our unique, authentic truth. Decisions are key to navigating through life and living our truth and purpose. Using our personal authority for our decisions is self empowering. Understanding how to make decisions as yourself keeps you aligned with your correct life path. Section 4, the 4 types and strategies, living our design. An exploration of the nuances of the 4 types and each type's strategy in detail. Understanding how we correctly move through life allows us to relax and surrender to our unique life purpose. Section 5, the 5 definitions, energy dynamics. Understanding the pathways through which our energy flows reveals how we process information and how we best interact with others. Section 6, the circuits, channels, and gates. The circuit board of the life force. We are a mix of tribal, collective, and individual life forces, ways that we are designed to meet the world as we support, share with, empower, and mutate each other. The 12 profiles, the costume of our purpose. Profiles help us to understand our roles, the ways we express our unique character on the stage of life. When we live out our profile, we meet our life purpose. Section 8, the Global Incarnation Cross Index, our true purpose. An introduction to our unique life purpose, achieved and expressed as a result of authentic living. Section 9, sample chart overviews, human design in practice. Sample chart overviews for each of the types that will provide you with a superficial example of keynoting and the synthesis that takes place when an analyst works with your chart. The basis of an in-depth reading by a professionally trained analyst is the weaving of your genetic information with practical tools for living your unique life. Section 10, hexagram line descriptions, a deeper exploration. A resource for a more advanced exploration of the human design system. The hexagram line descriptions provide a deeper look into the line level characteristics of your chart, as well as a wonderful meditation on what it is to be you. And then section 11, the other resources, glossary, keynotes, and more. While this book is filled with profound and practical information, it cannot replace a personalized reading by a thoroughly trained IHDS certified human design analyst, which itself can be a life transforming experience. You'll find a list of IHDS certified analysts at www.ihds or ihdschool.com or by contacting an authorized human design national organization, which will be listed in section 1.1. Reading this book is an excellent preparation for a personalized foundation reading and provides you with a solid platform for experimentation with your own design and future study. There are other areas to explore in the human design system, also listed in section 1 or section 11. I'm sorry, earlier when it was talking about authorized human design national organizations, they're all listed in not section 1.1, but section 11. Sorry. If you're interested in learning more, please visit www.jovianarchive.com and www.ihdschool.com. We have a worldwide network of national organizations and excellent analysts and teachers ready to support and guide you in the exploration of this knowledge. All right. Most people want a quick fix or quick answers to their problems. This is profound knowledge, and it requires awareness, experimentation, self reflection, and time. The human design system gives you the keys, but it's up to you to use the tools that it provides. This is the user manual for your life, but you have to jump in, turn the key, and discover for yourself. The magic is in the experience. Would you like to take this journey? Please consider yourself invited. Cool. And let's see. This was a quote we saw earlier about how it's not a belief system. It's a concrete map to the nature of being, a mapping of your genetic code. Let's keep going. All right. Okay. We'll end here. We'll pick back up at section 1, the foundations of a revolutionary new perspective, human design from the beginning. So that was a quick overview of the intro, the forewords, the table of contents, a few quotes, letting us know what this is all about. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you stick around because I'm definitely saying that this is like astrology times 1,000. If you're interested in getting your natal chart and you're learning your life path number and things like that, you're going to be extra interested in learning about human design. So I hope you stick around and hang out with us for a while. You can meet us in the chat room. Once again, go to www.cedargroveherbs.com. On the left-hand side, down that menu, you'll see it says CGH chat rooms. Click on that. Um, as I showed in the video earlier at the beginning of this video, you can just click on the little dots and it will show you all the different rooms. Click on the Openly Occultic Book Club, and there we can congregate and discuss what we just read. I hope you guys do meet me there because we want to talk about this voice. It said there was a voice. This man heard a voice. I want us to talk about that. It's going to go into it more as we continue reading in section 1. But for now, come talk to me or leave a comment on this video. Tell me your initial thoughts when you read that, when we started to read that part. That this man said he heard a voice and he sat down for 8 days and transcribed what this voice told to him. So let me know what's your initial reaction when you heard that about the voice. And also, what do you think about this man taking on an Egyptian name? What about that part? Um, some say that the Egyptians were white. I would say, yeah, after the Greeks invaded, but anyway, ancient Kemet was not. So, what do you think about this man taking on this Egyptian name? He's not the only one. I have books by a man named Hilton Hotima, and but that's not his original birth name. He took on an Egyptian name as well. Caucasian taking on this Egyptian name. What do you think about that? Leave a comment, let me know, and when we come back, we'll start out with section 1. Have a great day. Wholeness and balance.